Now, Candice, you mentioned something interesting a while ago. You said you bought a car recently and you went to the dealer and you knew exactly what you wanted. And there's been a lot of research around how people are buying nowadays. I think in the past, people used to go 5 times to the dealer because they had to collect information. Now, the average visits, I think it's 1.3 or 1.5. It's something like people go, they know exactly the car they want. It's basically, do you have it? Okay, I'm buying it, and then just figure out the price. And this is happening a lot in many different industries. So this is something I wonder, and I wanted to get your take. Do you think we will see a world without salespeople or less salespeople? And how would that skill set be used? Because I think the sales skill set is valuable, but if we keep seeing this transition, maybe we just add that skill set like you're doing. Hey, let's train people on this skill set, and the people who deliver, like in your case, you're selling the service but you're delivering the service. You could do both, and it's a little bit different than just having people that their sole purpose is to sell and move people through the pipeline without really understanding how everything else works in the company. So what are your thoughts on that?
Great question. I think that the concept of the sales funnel and the product-led strategy, this assumption that product can sell itself, and therefore all you need is some inexperienced SDR to smile and dial, and that's going to make sales for you, is antithetical to the way people actually buy. Now, that's not to say that it's not working for companies, but if you follow Kyle Coleman, for example, you know, the most effective SDRs are the ones that are taking the time to understand the target audience, to understand the individual, and to compose communications that are specific to that individual. There's an assumption out there. So I work a lot with companies that are resellers for ERP, enterprise resource planning software. So like Microsoft Dynamics, Sage, and NetSuite, Acumatica, and companies like that. So let's use Acumatica, for example. They've got something in the neighborhood of 350 resellers. All of those resellers are selling basically the same thing. I mean, there's different editions of Acumatica, but they've all got the same product, and they might sell 3 or 4 different lines of these products, but they're all kind of selling the same thing. And the market can begin to believe that these resellers are fungible. So fungible means if I've got a dollar bill that's crisp and new, and you've got a dollar bill that's all like been run over by your car and dug in the mud and it's dirty and all wrinkled up, they still have exactly the same value. And so they are fungible. $1 is completely interchangeable with another. In the reseller market, they are perceived by some customers, especially the first time the customer has gone down this path to buy something like this, as fungible. But these resellers are absolutely not fungible. Same thing with the products. I mean, Microsoft Dynamics Business Central and Acumatica are very different products. They may have some of the same feature sets, but the way they've deployed those feature sets is not the same. And the way that the partner comes and implements those feature sets from one partner to another is not the same. So as interchangeable as this industry looks like, it is absolutely not fungible. And I think that's true also for the car dealerships. You know, I contacted a lot of dealers and got super frustrated with the process of buying a car. Anybody that's bought a car during COVID has been frustrated with the process. You know, and there were dealers where I talked to a salesperson and said exactly what I was looking for. And they're like, yep, come on by. And they didn't have them in stock. They thought that they could shift me to another vehicle. Now, had they really done their homework, they knew what I was looking for. There were a couple of dealers that I talked to who were able to get me to consider an alternative. not very long, but they did get me to consider it, and they just didn't handle it well. They didn't spend the time to understand what our priorities were in order to shift my thinking. So I absolutely think that there is a role for a good salesperson, and that there were dealerships that I just refused to do business with because they kept trying this bait and switch method with me. And I think that there are salespeople who think that they can treat us like numbers, and they are never going to be as effective as the person who will sit down and think about, what is your business problem? What are you trying to solve for? And let me show you the aspects of this product that will help you solve that problem. So many salespeople want to do what I would like to call spray and pray with demos. It's like, just book a demo, and then I don't know what you need, so I'm going to show you everything. And if your customer is still awake by the end of the demo, you'll try to get them to the next step. But that's a very low conversion rate way to sell. If you would spend the time to get to know your customer, your conversion rate will be higher and your customer will trust you more.